Hi, my name's Rob Hadley for the Technical Hypnotherapy Association and Vancouver Hypnotherapy. I'm talking to you today about a very simple system for looking at the client's foundation for health when we work in hypnotherapy. Now, the foundation for health is a very simple idea. We look at the building blocks of their belief system and how that's going to affect their health. And we can basically break these down into 4 sections. And I've talked about this very briefly in passing before. But essentially we've got the emotional health, the physical health. We can also look at spiritual health, if they're a very spiritual individual, how that interacts with society, a few other things. And we also look at sexual health we have in the bottom here. Now, if these are well set up, and in the case of spiritual health, they may almost not have any particular organized spiritual ideas, but depending on the particular individual, if these are well set up, then it sets a foundation for the rest of the health of the individual. Now, when we think about the idea of the health of the individual, that goes far beyond the very simplistic way of looking at, say, physical, medical health. Medical health, as exciting as some people find it, is almost the thin end of the wedge here. We have to also think about aspects of their life to do with, say, their work environment, how they deal with relationships, how they perceive the world outside. If it was just simply a case of are they medically fit, that would just be too easy for what we're doing. We're looking at their life in a much more fully rounded way. Now, if they have got strongly grounded emotional, physical, spiritual and sexual health, then pretty much everything else is going to be built on a good foundation. If their sexual beliefs are way off, that's going to colour the way the rest of this pyramid is going to be built. If their emotional health is full of belief systems that are really not working for them, same thing. Same with physical health. If they really don't care about their physique, it's going to come out in a lot of ways. Initially at a very physical level, but later in a very emotional way as well. And of course one could say that you then get sexual dysfunction as well. If you let any of these blocks fall, then it's going to have a knock-on effect in many other ways. And same could be said for spiritual if you're in that particular camp. Now, if you were to extend up this pyramid a bit, how someone succeeds, for instance, in their work environment, let's say they've got a working situation. We'll just put WS here. If it's built on a solid foundation, if things are happening in a good way here, then there's a good chance that work situation is going to be able to be brought into a good place. If they've got a good, sensible, emotional view of who they are, a psychological balance, then their work situation could be brought to a good place. If, on the other hand, they really have a low sense of self-worth, well, the work situation is probably never going to be that good because they'll always be undervaluing themselves. Let's say their family situation. I'll just put FS there. Same again. If physically they're in terrible shape, they're going to be dependent on other people for things. If they're emotionally not in good shape, same thing, there could be problems there. Relationships generally, RS, relationships. If sexually they're looking for something that they're just not finding in the relationship, well, the relationship's not going to go so well. Same with the emotional side. Physically, of course, the same, but same spiritually. So this sort of set of foundations does dictate how everything else in that client's life is going to go. One can jiggle this around a little bit. There's some things which could be excluded, other things which could be included. But setting up this idea of what is the client's foundation for health, understanding that, and then reinforcing these sections, the sexual health, emotional health, physical health, and spiritual health, if one can reinforce those, everything built above will be much firmer. So when we start to deliver therapies as hypnotherapists, what we should be asking ourselves is, first, are these solid? If not, what can we do to address making them stronger? And then, whatever is built on top becomes much more robust. So a very, very simple way of just looking at the idea of the foundation for health. And in this example, health goes to much more than just physical and medical health. This is the health of their life, and that is how they do life. So, very simple, but a very good way to start looking at your client in terms of how successful are they going to be in terms of their health and their life health. This is Rob Hadley for the Technical Hypnotherapy Association. Check out our website, technicalhypnotherapy.com, and you'll see there's quite a lot of seminar material there. There's also some downloadable modules for people who are hypnotherapists. And we do seminars in Toronto, London, Rio de Janeiro, Singapore and Sydney, as well as in Vancouver. Feel free to contact me directly through the Technical Hypnotherapy Association.